And joining us now is a spokesperson for the presidency, Manoah Esipisu. Thank you for coming to studio. This is as much a religious and symbolic visit as it is a meeting of heads of state, but not too much is known about that, so I want to focus on that a little bit. Tell us, what are our relations specifically with the Vatican, and do we expect bilateral discussions between these two heads of state?
Yeah, thanks. The Pope is the Supreme Pontiff of the Roman Catholic Church, as well as the head of state of the Vatican City State. In that role, this visit is both pastoral, as you've said, as well as a state visit. In terms of our bilateral relations, it's the Catholic Church, of course, first of all, the 30% of our population is Catholic. Secondly, the Catholic Church is heavily involved in the development programs of our country. So in health, it's got more than 500 health facilities, for instance. In terms of schools, it's got up to 8,000 schools, for instance. Those development programs form the core of what it is that is our relation with the Church. But in terms of our messaging, for instance, the things that we are trying to do, the things we believe we need to do. So our war against terror, for instance. So that's the type of thing that the Pope would have a voice over, and his voice is globally listened to in terms of our war against such evils as corruption, inequalities, stuff like that. Those are things that the Pope's voice is equally important on the global stage. So this visit, in terms of discussions, doesn't then deal with what trade deals are going to be struck, for instance. That's not how these ones are framed. These ones are framed around what are the key issues in the globe right now, and what are those issues that resonate with Kenya, that also resonate with the Catholic Pontiff. Right, and I suppose how he can add his voice to what Kenya wants in regard to the same. Yes. You know, due to his religious beliefs, we do understand he wants a more understated, if you like, reception and visit. What would be typical of the reception of a visiting head of state that we will not see for the Pope? In terms of his reception, for instance, we expect to receive him with a 21-gun salute, but we don't expect him to inspect physically the guard of honor. We expect that the honor guard will be in place, that the anthems will be taken, and stuff like that. A typical another head of state would literally inspect the guard of honor. We do not expect the pontiff to attend a banquet, for instance, a state banquet. That is usually done for other heads of state, but this pontiff has not taken banquets on any tour he has taken so far. But we do expect that he will instead address a nation, taking that time that he would usually have taken to do a state banquet. In terms of other things, he will receive a full reception that is accorded to a head of state. So the bilateral talks with government, there is a private meeting with the president, there's receptions at the airport in which the president will attend, as well as his departure from the country.
From a governance and possibly even political perspective, what is the import for State House in having this visit again, such a high-profile visit coming just barely 4 months after the visit of U.S. President Barack Obama? How do you see it positioning Kenya?
These are important visits for our country. They continue to showcase our country as heading in the right direction, doing the right things broadly, and generally looking to lift the lives of the Kenyan people. It's not by accident that he's coming here. We believe we are the gateway to East Africa. We believe we are the gateway to Africa. And for the Pope's first visit to Africa to start with Kenya pretty much emphasizes that point. Our president has reached out in a great way to other global leaders in terms of getting Africa to integrate, in terms of getting our trade relations better, in terms of movement of people and goods. And it's a type of message that resonates very well along in the international community, as well as it should in the region.
A new poll that has been released today says that Kenyans, want, among the issues they want the Pope to address is one of leadership and good governance. And of course, this is coming at a time when the president's ratings have hit a low, some would say with good reason, because of a flagging war on corruption. What confidence would State House be looking to restore in the leadership of the president at such a critical time when the public seem to feel that the Kenya is heading in the wrong direction?
I think that is a perception, the question of heading in the wrong direction, fueled obviously by the timing of that specific poll, when there has been a debate about one ministry. And obviously we are responsive to the views of the public. The president has himself led this war against corruption. For instance, you will know that this week alone there were 72 senior officials in court on corruption-related charges, including 1 PS and 5 MDs. This is as high as you go when you're getting this job done. So in terms of the government's commitment to fighting corruption, that commitment has been shown all the time. And it will continue to, you will continue to see other people getting charged in the coming days. What we need to do is bring everyone on board in this fight. I mean, up to 90% of the corruption we see in the public space is related to procurement. Procurement is a crime only when private sector are offering things and government people are taking those things. Both sides have to lift their game in terms of their approach to fighting that.
Yeah, I suppose when you say up until the level of PSs getting charged, people would want to see the heads of those ministries, if they are criminally responsible, charged as well, because they had such a docket. But as we wind up this conversation, corruption has claimed, as we've reported today, nearly a third of the cabinet. Are there any plans for a cabinet reshuffle, or will we be seeing more ministers doubling up? What are the considerations the president is taking?
First, the president told anti-corruption agencies last week that their success in fighting corruption will be seen by how many people get convicted and how many people go to jail. So clearly he wants the agencies to do the work for which they are mandated. In terms of a cabinet reshuffle, that's a prerogative of the president. When the time is right, I'm sure he will do what he needs to do.
All right. I thank you for your time. Manoah Esipisu is the spokesperson for the presidency. Thank you.